No, for some reason, no, my update isn't showing. Yeah, I need to change that as well. Wallpaper. No, I'm going to be about 10 minutes. do the wallpaper. Yeah, my wallpaper shit. Oh, I've got to find the right picture now. Oh, don't mess up on me. Okay, you know, it's weird. It's weird. It's not launching now. Brilliant. Yep,
I'm
here.
in.
See, I was going to do that one, my picture of ribeyes. Good, thanks, bud. Yourself? Yeah, we almost had it. Yeah, in Thirsk this morning, it was like, I'm going to show you a little bit of snow, then take it away.
driven in the snow since I've got the all-wheel drive car.
That's a lot of sod, that. I used to love watching Audis try to go up hills.
Looking at my the weather forecast, and it's like 0.1 centimetre of snow, and I'm like, is it worth it? Why'd you bother?
Yeah.
I'll just close the freezer.
Well, at the moment, I can see that the ground is covered. I haven't been out to see how deep it is, but the dog's loving it anyway, no matter how deep it is. We let him out earlier on, and he went the normal thing, shoveling snow with his nose. Straight out, nose down, straight across the grass. You're muted, Zed.
I just looked at the camera for the first time. With Meddy's head down, I thought he was in Burka.
I kill you!
It must be really cold there if he's sweating to keep his head warm.
Yeah, I just popped out for a smoke. And yeah, it was really cold.
All right. Shall we?
We shall.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
How do we play this again?
Yeah, what is this game? What are we doing? Oh no, we say that every week. What are we doing?
We kind of do what we've been doing for the last 15 sessions of this. We make it up.
Yeah.
Okay, bumble along.
The key thing, as long as you're all having fun, that's all that matters.
I can't remember. November, wasn't it? Was I? Can't remember. I'm old now.
It was November, I think, or
Yeah.
very early December.
28th of November, I think it was.
Wow. So, welcome, gents, to the new year, and we shall pick up Eternal Lies with the group currently in the Severn Valley, in Brichester to be quite precise, having just left the university, heading back to the Brichester Arms Hotel, where you were going to freshen up and have a dinner with Professor Sangster, I believe. As you were walking back from the university to the Brichester Arms, you, well, not you as such, let's just turn this down a little bit. There we go. Alfred, in particular, had got a sense that you were being followed. And sure enough, he discovered an individual across the street from where you were, kind of following you along. And as soon as you, as Alfred turned to confront him, he called out for Mr. Hass, saying, "Mr. Hass, I have a book for you." He showed the inside of this shabby, dilapidated, damaged coat, and there was the spine of a book inside a book pocket.
He flashed his Mac and there was a pile of porn in there. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Exactly. And he said to you, there is a price to pay. Yes, there is a price for this book. And that price is the money from the Winston girl. And that's where we left it last session, all those weeks ago. So he stands there, looking well, he stands there in anticipation. He doesn't have a hand out. He's just kind of closes his coat back up and puts his arms by his side.
How far away from us is he?
So, say again?
How far away from us is he? Across the road?
He's probably 2 or 3 feet from you, Alfred. Probably 5 or 6 feet from the rest of the group.
You're going to fill him in, aren't you? And that's what I was thinking. I'm a bookworm.
I was just thinking, grab him because we don't know what he's offering anyway.
My thirst for knowledge was about to shiver up. What you said?
What book is that? Could be anything. Could be a scrapbook for all we know.
It's an important book, something that will help you in your travels.
And what do you know of our travels?
Enough.
And more importantly, what do you know about the Winston girl, as you so put it?
The lovely Janet. She's funded you. She's made it so you can travel to Ethiopia, to England, back to the United States.
As he's talking and we're talking, I'm going to walk sort of backwards and forwards, pacing, but in a kind of a way that I'm going to position myself, gradually getting wider and wider, so I'm getting closer and around him.
Yeah.
I'm looking past him to see if he's got any accomplices hiding in the shadows, because he seems a bit either stupid or set up a trap or something if we try to grab him.
Not mutually exclusive, those.
No, I know. Just want to see if there's anyone else before I actually pounce on him.
Doesn't seem to be. He doesn't actually seem to be on his own.
And what's your name, perchance?
My name is unimportant, but you could call me James, if that makes you happy.
What would make me more happy is to know what you are expecting us to pay a sum of money for. It could be absolutely anything. That we want more specifics. Got to understand you're very untrustworthy, just sneaking up behind us and then
Just a messenger. I don't know what the book contains. I haven't looked at it. Someone thought you should see it, and I'm merely delivering it. He kind of pats his jacket pocket. So
if you're delivering it, the message for the payments is from you or from the person that said that we should have this.
the payment is just an exchange. All
Between-
trade have an exchange of kind.
Yeah, but between us and you, or between us and the person that provided you the book.
Does it matter?
Yes.
Why?
I like to know whether the person that I'm dealing with is trustworthy or not. If it was given to us and you're trying to get money out of it, then you're not trustworthy.
And then we'd need to know your name to
Verify
No, it-
with the other person.
notify your next of kin.
He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out the book. Ralph, this is old. Very
Collapses on the floor.
There is a binding around the center of it, and from what you can see, there are at least a couple of possibly wood carvings, kind of half falling out, and he kind of waves it. Ah, you're going to be difficult, aren't you? He'll be mad if I don't give this to you. Just take it, take it, take it. And he kind of steps forward and thrusts it into Ralph's general direction.
While he's been taking the book out, Ralph has automatically put his gloves on.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll
I'll take the book.
Yeah, I'm watching for anything else happening. If he goes to cost Ralph, then I will intervene.
He,
Ditto.
as you
As he's handing it over, I'll look for any symbols on it that I recognise before I touch it.
No, the external surface in the spine seems to be wholly without any kind of iconography or lettering. Doesn't even have Arkham Press at the bottom.
Okay.
As he kind of takes his fingers off it, he winks at you, whistles, turns, and starts heading down the street.
Whistles as in a signal whistle, or just whistles jauntily?
Just whistles jauntily.
Sounds like he was trying to make a fast buck.
And then he takes a little bit, about 20 yards down the road, he takes a right into sort of a side street.
Shall we follow?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there, opposite us, is there a parallel side street?
Yes.
I'll start heading that way then.
It's the one that he came out of.
Ah,
And he's gone down to the next one, and he's gone up the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll head to the one he's gone down.
All right. As you turn the corner to go down the one he's gone down, there is nobody on the street.
I look up.
There is a small, about 10 or 15 yards into the street, there seems to be something on the floor.
Okay, I will go and approach it.
It appears to be...
Ralph is just sort of like stood looking at shit. They've split up. I was looking at the book. Who do I go with? I'll go with.
shabby, crusty, stained coat. The same one that the strange man was wearing.
Right. But no sign of anyone climbing up
No sign of
fire
anyone
escapes or anything.
anywhere. Nope.
Okay, I'm going to examine the coast.
It
Look
is
through the pockets
definitely...
and things and see.
Yep. There is nothing in its pockets.
Nothing to identify
No.
anything about it. Right. Okay. I shall
No.
wait here for. Joseph to come from the other direction.
Joseph, you go up the side street, turn,
take a left.
and then immediately come back down. As you turn and start coming back down, you can see a figure down the road. Looks like Alfred. You have not seen the man. Alfred is kind of holding something in his hand. Slightly at arm's length.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Looking at it like this.
He didn't double back.
I don't know where he went.
I'll have gone with Alfred probably.
Okay. Clutching the book in your hand.
There's me.
Yes.
I thought you'd go with the bunny.
It's gone in my
Okay.
backpack.
Okay, no worries.
I'm going to look around and see if there's any hidden doors or anything around here that you could have escaped down.
Traditional.
Sewer drains or anything like that.
No, nothing bigger. Remember, you're in England, so
Yeah.
no, nothing. No fire escapes really. Sort of terraced housing. No doors that look like they've just recently been opened and closed or anything like that. No, nothing.
What was the weather like? Was it dry, wasn't it?
It's dry at the moment.
Very strange.
Cold.
Not
though,
the
'cause it's
strangest
sunny.
thing we've come across, of course, but still very strange.
You don't think that was the missing professor, do you?
He said he was a middleman, but he was obviously trying to get something out of us. Possibly a member of the local underworld. Criminal elements around here might know something, some other ways around.
Well, you never know. He might have given his real first name.
But no. Sons of Alpha, is the book genuine?
I've not examined it properly yet. I'll wait until I get somewhere safe with good light.
Is it the missing book from the thing, do you think? From the library that was stolen? Could it be? Size, age, from what you saw and that thing? You don't know.
Not too sure now.
But if that's the case, why would they give it back to? Well, why would they give it to us?
Unless he's a member of that group that are protecting.
Anything
but-
where this coat was? Is anything else? Any other like residue on the floor or anything like that? I know it's outside, but is there anything or a smell on the air or anything? I'm thinking more something more occult or arcane has gone on, that this person's just vanished.
There is a small puddle of goop.
What's that? I'll take a pencil out. I'll take a pencil out. Just get a little bit of it on the end of my pencil. And is this where the coat was?
Got the consistency of a heavy running nose.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's not green, it's translucent. You can kind of, as you kind of plop it up, and a little bit kind of drips off quite slowly in the cold evening. The gas lights, electric lights, I think electric lights, wouldn't they?
Mm.
What lighting there is in the street, there's not a lot. You can see through it. It seems to be translucent. There doesn't seem to be any kind of smell associated with it.
Get my finger. Just tip it to my tip of my tongue.
No.
Give me 1 second. I didn't know you were going to do this.
Because nobody's saying would.
No.
I've read some books.
It's when we look up. There's like we're just at the back of like the local butchers.
Yeah, see, I'm the PI. That's the type of thing that I'd do. I was just checking through my sheet for forensics kit or something. Why you did that? It's like, yeah, that's not what I'd have done.
That explains why every PI rubs that white powder on the gums.
Yeah. Well, I've got forensics, so I'd assume I've got a kit, but nothing written down.
It does have a very vague taste.
Almond,
I'm seeing if I can
as in
find
kilo.
Has a taste of old man in dirty coat.
How he'd be find that familiar, I don't want to know.
Got a specific name for that and a taste. Categorized.
There is a very slight mossy smell and taste to it. Very faint. As you put it to your lips to taste it, for a brief second, a wash of pleasure wells up in your groin and spreads to your abdomen before dissipating just as quick.
Viagra, isn't it?
Liquid Viagra.
I think we're onto something here, lads.
Yeah.
Bottle it up.
Yeah, let's take it with us and go home.
The Oda Succubus came to mind.
Yeah.
It's not really enough for it to do anything more than that.
Have we got anything to take a sample of this with us?
I will describe the taste to them.
Yeah, mossy.
Yeah, do we have any jars?
Not on you. And even in this cold, it seems to be diminishing on the ground.
I'm going. I was going to use my handkerchief and just soak up what I could.
Okay, you can do
But-
that.
But then I was thinking, where can I put it? We don't have plastic bags at this time.
No,
No.
plastic bags.
I was thinking first aid kit, but I wouldn't be carrying a first aid kit because it'll be bulky in that era.
You could soak it up, take your cigarettes out of your cigarette case, put it in there.
Good thinking.
Okay. All right. You soak it up. There is a very, very slight hint of an orangey yellow colour to the liquid stains that are on your white handkerchief.
Mm.
And as you've kind of concentrated on your handkerchief, you get that mossy smell.
I'm going to try to keep my hands on the dry edges and feed it gently into the cigarette case and then close it on top.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do.
And then I'm going to light a cigarette.
Light a cigarette, that's fine.
Guess we head back to the Berkeley Arms and get ready for the meal. And if we've got time, maybe do a little bit of forensics on it. So I
Yeah.
don't know what type of forensics I'd do.
And Ralph maybe can have a quick look at the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, you make your way back to the hotel. Probably 6:30, 6:45 by now. Dinner was sort of 7:50. Well, dinner was probably 8 o'clock because you probably didn't finish with Professor Sanger until kind of closer to 6. So what are you going to do? You're going to get ready, of course, and prepped and changed into your evening attire, your suit and hat and things like that.
Hmm. Yeah, so I'll leave the cigarette case out for Alfred to have his way with.
Okay.
I've got evidence collection and forensics, but whether I'd have tools to.
Preparedness.
That's true. Yeah, I could do.
Do you have biology or chemistry as a skill?
No. No sciences at all.
So your forensics allows you to forensically examine a scene. Doesn't necessarily allow you to
Interrogate the evidence.
interrogate the evidence at a biological or chemical.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's something I need to learn at some point then.
And it is definitely something you need to learn. And probably, yeah, you need to
How
know.
I'd learn it, I don't know. But
There are a couple of places here where, depending on how you approach things, you might be able to get access to such places.
University.
University being one of them.
When he takes it out of the cigarette case, has it evaporated anymore? Or is it still as it was?
It's evaporated a little bit more.
Right.
It's
Put it in
also a
the,
little bit runnier. There's a little bit more liquid in the bottom of the cigarette case, and the mossy smell is stronger.
Right.
Have you got any bottles or anything?
I
Bottles
was
opened.
thinking getting a the butter tray that you put butter on,
Yeah.
and put it in that, and then just put it in either in the are we in a hotel room or are we in a hotel suite?
Hotel
would-
room
Okay.
is sweets. Yeah.
The only problem I have with that was if somebody comes to change the room, they will take that out and replace it.
Now I was thinking if we had a suite and it was furnished to some degree where you may have an ice box or something like that, or something for drinks. But I suppose in 1920 you may not have done.
No.
Why not just get a wine bottle, swill it out, clean it out, and put it in there, and put the
Mhm.
cork back
Either
on
that
top?
or tomorrow, if it lasts that long, try and get yourself an empty perfume bottle or medicine bottle or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Would there be a medicine bottle in the first aid kits or
the
anything like that?
if you want to spend a point of preparedness, I will give you a medicine bottle in the first aid kit for sure.
Yeah, I shall do that.
Seems like technically you're supposed to roll for it. So give me a roll,
Oh.
spend your preparedness, which you have done. 6 is good enough. There is, in fact, with a 6, there is an empty bottle.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll do that.
Bit of a swill out, bit of a wash out, good clean. Yep.
Yeah,
Very
pop it and
carefully.
seal it.
Yeah, and so very carefully you tip the residue liquid into it, and you carefully push your handkerchief inside as well, and seal it. Okay.
That's my night sorted. If you can keep that stuff.
I will make a preliminary skip through of this book, try and identify it at least.
Okay. The first thing you realise as you've got inside, your gloves are damp, almost wet. It was cold outside.
Yeah.
Didn't really feel it, but now you're inside your room. You place the book down, and you realise that the book itself is almost. It's almost as if it's been submerged in water.
So it's like slick,
It's wet.
wet.
And slick. Yeah.
Okay. I'll get a towel from the bathroom.
Okay.
Lay it down on that first.
Okay.
Try and just pat it down, take it out.
As
Does it dry off?
As you pat it down, you get a mossy smell coming from it.
I was going to say, is it covered in the same stuff as what was on the floor? Is it made of the same stuff?
And
Okay. Before I start looking at this book, can I, from what I know of protective runes, can I sort of like put some form of protective circle around it?
me an occult roll. I can't remember. Is occult?
No, it's not. I'll spend 2 points for occult on it.
Spend 2 points of occult on it. Cool. Yep. To the best of your ability, you believe you have traced and created a protection room based on some of the ones that you've seen over the last sort of couple of months. You're in your own room at the moment. The rest of them aren't with you.
Once I've done that, I assume they're on either side.
You're like, one's next door and the other one's opposite you in a corridor.
I'll knock on the door next to me and knock on the door opposite.
All right. Alfred, you're next to Ralph, and Joseph, you're across the corridor.
I'll go to the door and come out with my tie my dicky bow.
Okay, no problem. A half-dressed Ralph, still with his gloves on, is kind of dicky bow, kind of one side is around his thing but not tied.
It's a chalk in one hand and
Chalk in one hand, yeah, and it's like
a chicken's foot with blood on it in the hand.
a little bit of a concerned look on his face.
Everything okay?
I'm just about to open the book. I put some protections up there, but just in case something goes wrong, would you mind stepping in for the first 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
2 minutes. I'll go back and get my knife.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and get my saber.
Okay. You opening the book?
Once I get back, yeah.
How are you opening it? First page, middle pages. One of the pages where there seems to be some kind of loose wood carving.
You said there was wood carvings, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I'll open the front page first.
Yeah.
And then wherever there's wood carvings, I'll have a look at those and try and clean some information off those.
You know what you said about the book in his what did you say it was? A book full of porn.
Porn, yeah. Is that what the wood carvings are?
Actually, you get. If it wasn't for your two companions, you would probably spend the rest of the night staring at this. Your brief look at it.
Instead, we all are. There's no dinner tonight. We're all just looking at this demonic porn.
And taking notes.
Earliest pages are written in a form of Old English dating back to the medieval and Dark Ages times. The latter pages seem to be in the last century. There are a mixture of woodcuts, etchings, photographs, handwritten stories depicting depraved acts of torture, mutilation, incest, bestiality, necrophilia, and worse. It portrays mouths biting, mouths chewing, mouths sucking, mouths spitting, mouths bleeding, mouths oozing. Seems to be some kind of scrapbook, honouring, cataloguing, capturing collections of accounts and information from as far back as the Dark Ages and the medieval era, right the way to 1935, which is now, January 1934. From what you can see, it is horrifically inventive and explicit. Some of the pages are stuck together and seem to ooze this viscous liquid. Ooze this viscous liquid.
Yeah.
You said mossy, not salty, didn't you?
We're not the one that tastes it.
Definitely not salty. That's all you can get. You would need to choose whether you wish to peruse it and skim it, or whether you want to pour over it. Pouring over it will probably take you 3 to 4 nights of effort.
Hang on, just let me check my current sanity. I'm sure it's full.
I'm guessing you've relayed this to us, haven't you?
Yes.
Because wasn't there a cult that basically the one that went across the island, was it, or up the hill? That didn't they have things going back hundreds of years that they followed and did? Wasn't it part of what the cult was based on?
Actually, yeah, Berkeley Toad thing, it says tree spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Mossy smell.
Yep.
And goes towards transports into spirit realm. Which, if the spirit was going to manifest and disappear, could be this goop. I've seen 30 students explore the isle. Okay. After seeing his reaction, I'm going to start studying the protection rules he's put around it, just in case we need them. Start memorizing them.
Yeah, Thomas Lee. That's the guy I was thinking of, I think.
I don't recognise that name. I've got a Daryl Owens, who's the one that went insane, that was left on the island.
Yeah, Daryl Owens was in the Seventh Valley.
Yeah, Thomas Lee was the one that was it Deepfall, Lake Cultists, 1850 to Die Out. But I'm sure there was something linking them to past things.
I didn't have the name Thomas Lee on there.
Well, under Prisoner of Galaki.
Yeah. But Deepfall Lake, Prisoner of Galaki, possible location.
Yeah, Deepfall, Lake Water, toad locked up after doing horrendous things.
Yeah, he could be the Prisoner of Galaki. Under another name. Because we've had toad-like manifestations in Ethiopia, weren't there?
Yeah. And then the next I've got is Tree Spirits of the Cotswolds, which is spirit rides the body while possessed to go to a magical land.
So what are we going to do about this now? It's not something that really can leave out.
Well, I'll take it with me tonight. It'll be on my person, stinking up.
Take it with you.
Yes.
Spread the love.
Okay.
Although, having said that, we're going to dinner, aren't we? So it could cause a bit of a stir if everybody starts biting each other's arms off because of its it being there. Could turn into a very dodgy swingers party.
Well, I don't see why not, as long as you maybe put it in something rather than have it next to your person.
Also, that's the hotel. They've got a safe.
What was that protection thing that we had? That was on the airplane that we took. Didn't we take it with us, and that's when something went wrong? Was that the knife or something like that? So stone knife?
No, yes.
Have we still got that?
You do?
That seems to be something that keeps bad things away. So as long as that's near it, it might actually help in some way. We've still got the metal box that
You do still have the
was
metal
kept
box?
in.
Yep. Might have it with you.
Well, where we could put it is just checking. You know, the wardrobes in this room. I'm assuming they're old, heavy wooden wardrobes.
Correct.
They go down to the floor.
Yes.
Okay, can they be lifted?
Two of you could probably.
So I'm assuming even though it goes down to the floor, the base won't be on the floor.
Correct.
So if we lifted it on one side, we could put the book under the actual wardrobe, and it'd be hidden under there. And as long as it matches on the carpet or whatever, Nobody would know it were there.
That's fine.
I'll do
Not
some
a
of the
problem.
lifting since.
Now, if we want to leave, do we want to leave the dagger under there as well with it?
I'd say yes,
Okay.
just in case it acts as a dampening. Otherwise, in case it does have some kind of effect.
I suppose what we could do is we put the dagger under there with it, and then if we've got anything else that we don't want stealing, I'm assuming we've all got these kind of wardrobes. We could do the same in each, split them amongst the 3 rooms, so we won't lose it all if they find one.
Well, to be fair, I'm going to put something in the door so I know it's been opened. If it's been opened, sorry. Yeah, like a bit of fluff or something.
There's no doors adjoining the rooms. Then?
I was going to say that is the one next, the person next to me, is it an adjoining door? Oh,
No, I wouldn't have thought so in a pub.
No, it's a pub, so no.
okay.
Well, it's getting close to dinner time, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'll go put my sabre away and go back, finish getting changed. And then, as I said, I'm going to find a bit of lintel or fluff and just put it just sort of knee height in the door as I close it.
Okay, no problem.
I'll take my brass knuckles with me in my pocket, but no other weapon just in case.
What I'll do for the door is I'll put a piece of chalk slightly behind and tape it to the bottom of the door just so it's touching the carpet.
Okay.
So if somebody opens the door, it leaves a chalk mark on the carpet.
When I see you doing this, I'm going to say it's a really good idea, but when you open it, it's going to leave a mark on the door.
Oh, that's fine. I'll only open it so far. They won't notice.
All right. I'm going to tie a piece of string attached to the door handle and attach to my pistol.
And the opposite shoots me in the back, and I know we've been robbed.
Yeah. And then he drinks enough tonight to forget. Oh,
I'm going to break a hole in the floor next to the door and put a carpet over the top of it.
Well, you can do all those things, no problem. Heading downstairs into the restaurant dining area of the pub, Professor Sangster is waiting for you. He rises to his feet from his table and nods at you all as you come down and sort of settle yourself down.
I'll shake his hand.
Yeah.
So sorry we're a little bit late.
Not a problem, gentlemen, not a problem. Please, and he kind of gestures to the seats and the menus. Dinner is a genteel affair. It's very good food. And Professor Sangster seems to be more than happy to talk to you and answer questions, etc., that you may have.
I'm just here to pay.
Well, at least you know your place.
Was anything particular you wanted to talk to him about or ask him about?
Now, he was interested in Ethiopia, wasn't he?
Yes, and he will ply you with questions about Ethiopia, what it's like, what you were doing there, what you discovered, if anything. Generally, yeah. And obviously, you will no doubt leave some of the detail.
We'll keep it PG rated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now,
Just quick. Sangster, classical languages. Yeah. He was the guy that wanted a copy of the 1912 first edition, wasn't he?
correct.
British Sports and Hunting. And was it John Burroughs 4 and 5 he wanted? I was going to speak to the guy at Yellow Tree Books about that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I was trying to make sense of these notes. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I saw Yellow Tree Books at the bottom. Yeah, Josh Parsons. I was like, yeah, that makes no sense. It's in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I'll ask,
Come. Yeah.
I was going to say, I'll ask. I was showing interest in more the fact that that other book had been stolen, the Revelations book.
So,
Did ask whether he
volume
ever
4.
saw it, and if he did, could he describe what it looked like? Just in case it's similar to this one that's just under.
Or it's been added to.
The book itself is fairly plain brown sort of reddish vellum cover.
Oh no.
It has the words Revelations of Glacky volume, and then the Roman numerals for the volume that it is etched on the front, and
so
it just says volume and the number on the spine.
Is it 4, 9, or 12 volume? Because I've got.
Right. So I think what happened was I said that volume 9 had been stolen, but actually it's a 12 volume, and it's volume 12 that's gone missing.
I thought you said 12 and then corrected it to 9, but I got it.
Hold on, let me double check. So we don't.
It looks like I've written 12 first, then scribbled 9 over the top, which would have made it look like a 4.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
that's
rubbed it out and put 9 down.
okay. Maybe that's the case. Give me a second.
Weren't 10 to 12 combined in 9 or something?
Sorry, it is 9 volumes. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's 9 volumes, and it's volume 9 that was missing.
Okay, so
Okay. Sorry. They're quarto-sized books bound in soft black leather with a different colour font embossed on the front cover of each one.
right, this book that you've just got is plain, so there's nothing embossed on it.
Correct.
That's ruled out that.
And it was, sorry, in the library, they had a copy of the Revelation, and it doesn't say what. He just say so. He told you that they had a copy of the Revelations of Glacky. He didn't say what versions, what volumes, and that it was stolen.
Okay. So we shouldn't know that it was the 9th book.
You don't know whether it was one volume, all the volumes.
Okay. But we'd heard something about it from somewhere else. Maybe not.
Okay. Any other? So I'm just double checking my notes here. Did he tell you? Did he? Did he tell you that Suleiman had visited him,
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, we knew that.
and he told you what he was looking, what he picked up?
The professor realised that his original work was totally wrong and was revising it, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
I don't know whether he discussed what. I don't recall him saying what he discussed with Sullivan. Sullivan, they've all shot off, haven't they, as if they've discovered something.
So he will explain to you that Suleiman had been interested in one sec, maps of Deepfall Lake.
Yeah.
Maps of the waterways of Deepfall Lake. He'd inquired about the university's copy of Revelations of Glaaki. And what else? The main things that he tells you. Yeah, that's the main stuff that he kind of tells you about that, if he hadn't already told you it. Well, needless to say, the evening is a pleasant one. You learn a little bit more about the town. He absolutely recommends, if you've got time and you're interested in historical buildings that date back to the Magna Carta era, it's well worth visiting the church.
Now, that's the church that's allegedly founded by the Knights Templar, isn't it?
And that is the church. Ah, you knew that. Yes, that is the church allegedly founded by the Knights Templar. As the evening wanes on, it gets to about 10 o'clock, and the professor takes his leave of you. You return to your rooms, or you sit in the bar after the professor has gone, enjoy a final nightcap together before you head to your rooms.
I'll get to my door, almost forgetting about the bit of fluff I put there.
Before heading up or having a quick drink, I'll have a look around and see if anyone appears to have been watching us.
Okay.
In case Suleiman and party left somebody behind at all.
There doesn't appear to be anybody that's paying undue attention to you.
Okay.
There are people that stare at you. Americans, you've got American accents.
Yeah.
But nobody's paying undue attention to you or keeping, looking at you.
Surreptitiously or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When we go back upstairs, I'll stay outside my room until the other two are happy that nothing's been disturbed in their rooms before going to mine.
Okay. All right. Both of your rooms appear to be undisturbed. Everything is as you've left them.
Do you want us to lift? I'll whisper as quietly as I can. Do you want us to just move the things so you can see they're still there?
And do just quickly lift one end up and check.
Book's still there. Knife's still there.
Cool. My thinking was if something can disappear in an alleyway, there's nothing to stop it going out the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
going to
what's-
put pillows in my bed and sleep in the wardrobe.
Hanging upside down from the
Yeah.
coat hooks.
With my mouth.
Your night's sleep is fine. Nothing keeps you awake. No strange dreams of mouths biting things, sucking things. It's all good. You awake the following morning. Looking outside, it has begun to snow. You head downstairs for breakfast. As you seat yourselves in the dining room, the barkeep comes over. Mr. Westmore,
Yes.
a letter for you, sir.
Why, thank you.
He hands it over.
I'll wait till he's slightly away and then I'll open it.
The Royal Mail was that good?
Oh, trust me. They used to be.
Okay. Okay. Just I need to do something slightly different here. So that very first sentence, ignore that for a second. The rest is relevant. That first sentence I need to change. I'll change it in 1 second. So the first thing you notice is it seems to be addressed. Okay, also the date is wrong. It should probably be. This is the problem when you're using somebody else's prop, right? So today's date, according to the calendar, no, don't do that. Today's date, according to the calendar, would be the 25th
Of January.
of January, yes. Hold on.
Yeah, we arrived in London, didn't we, on the 21st, so yeah.
Yeah. It'll be the 25th of January. The current time is about 8 o'clock. I've just gone back to so 25th of January, it's about 8 o'clock. The date on the letter, so now we've established that. Mercy Hill Mental Institution, January 24th, 1935. The Five Strangers. Dear, actually, the Four Strangers. The Three Strangers.
I was going to say, who are the other people?
Yeah, no. Dear Mr. Westmore, Mr. Haas, and Mr. Elliot.
Elliot.
I am afraid I cannot see clearly enough to know which of you will receive this letter, and I hope that it finds you in good health, although I can see that you are in great danger. It is indeed on the matter of danger that I write you. I have seen you walking through cavernous or ravenous shadows. Ravenous, maybe. Or Ravenous.
I'd
No,
say
ravenous.
ravenous.
I am having trouble seeing the paper for how near they have drawn to you. I hope that you might find the time to call upon me. It would be much appreciated, and I think in your best interest. Trisha Piper.
Yeah, it's ravenous if you look at her R's and everything else.
Yeah.
Interesting way of pronouncing looking at her ass. I told you Royal Mail weren't this efficient. A day to actually get to us.
From just up the road.
Yeah.
It's next door.
Don't forget, it had to go to the sorting office like 20 miles away to come back again.
Exactly. The name Trisha Piper, we've not come across anything
No.
about those, have we? Though
The only person we had at the,
we have.
yeah, the only person we had at the mental hospital was oh god, Darrell Owens.
Yeah.
But he's dead.
Yeah.
Right.
We think of
I know
us
where
as
it is.
hospital anyway.
Do you not have another name?
No, I got Julian
I know.
Pitchfoot, but that's not.
Did Sangster not tell you about Marcus Loughton?
Oh, I've got Loughton written down somewhere. Give me 2 shakes. I've got Loughton Archives in Royal Society. It's just above where I've written that. I've put Loughton, then Archives in Royal Society with Queen of Cardiganinium, or whatever my writing says.
The other thing that Sangster would have told you about him is in the 1780s, he started suffering some kind of delusional disorder, became obsessed with the Severn Valley, claimed he was privy to a secret history that had been erased from the minds of men, documented a local explosion of weird mythology, of which Loughton was the only notable voice, stirred up a lot of trouble in Brichester and the surrounding region. He eventually got locked up in Mercy Hill. And Sangster had told you that over dinner that he'd been meaning to take a trip into London to study Loughton's diaries, which are kept in the archives of the Royal Society.
That's my shorthand there. You see, I've got Loughton Archives Royal Society.
Yeah. That word
Everything in the middle's
you
gone.
couldn't read. Yeah, that word you can't read. I remember what that one was. That was the one that Zed asked me to pronounce properly.
Yeah.
Heracudroidion.
That's
why you spelt it terribly, because you don't know how it's spelled.
Ceridon or something?
Yeah, Kerig is stone. Is the what the other word is? I'm not sure. Druidion. Druidion. I would guess.
Yeah.
Stone. It's the stone something or other. I have to check what that means.
Yeah, stone circle. It's Druidium. Druid. Yeah. Who knows?
Dagger?
Wall. The stone brick.
One reason I say dagger is because we've got a stone dagger.
Of course, yeah.
It's local to me. That's how I actually know how to pronounce it. It's Conwy. Probably about half an hour's drive away.
Oh, we'll take a break now.
Yeah,
Go on have a walk and then we'll come back.
We're on till another time, so that's bound to be like a plaque or something.
It's about halfway from where I grew up or where I live now. But then down rather than.
Where adventures become too real.
Yes, because of Monday here though. It's half him training. Ah, okay.
So, a little bit more information for you.
Indeed, and I think that we should be going to the asylum, Mercy Hills.
Okay.
Yeah, we were planning on going there anyway, weren't we?
Mm.
Your plan for the day?
Coffee, breakfast, mad people.
Remind myself what date it is.
25th.
25th June.
Yeah, hold on.
See what day it is. It's a Friday.
Friday, is it?
Yep.
Sometimes it's going to take forever. It is indeed a Friday. It is also a waning gibbous moon. Okay, let's take a quick 10-minute break and then we'll come back with you heading up to the hospital. action that you're supposed to undertake, and you can only do 10 of them a day to bind and activate items for that day. Stuff like that. It's really. Have you played Pathfinder 2, Medi?
No, Pathfinder 1 I've played.
Yeah, I played 1, not 2.
Yeah, it looks. I've got the book coming Wednesday. It looks
Really good.
They,
Looks interesting.
they,
Yeah.
they have a sale at the moment, 'cause I'm going to pick it up, I think.
Hmm.
Is it going to bog it down with rules, though? Is it going to slow it down? That was
See,
the.
I haven't watched it, but I saw there's a video from somebody that says Pathfinder 2 is actually easier to run than 5th edition,
Oh,
which I find. I need to watch the video, which I find interesting because it is a 640-page rulebook.
yeah.
What we might do is we might do a one-shot one Thursday session. When we finish the city, we'll maybe do a quick Pathfinder one-shot, see how it plays like.
Mm.
So you've got a year to prepare.
No, the rate you're going now, you should finish the city by end of March-ish.
Okay.
You
Oh.
should finish the city in the next few weeks, really, and then you should get onto the final part, deal with the final part, and then that is where we'll pause that game.
While writing down in big letters, go see the Sphinx.
While writing down in big letters, go see the Sphinx. Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
not see the Sphinx. Go and do the gaze.
That's it, yeah.
Funny thing is that I've noticed that since I've joined, I'm the one that's at the front of the party. It's like now we've got 2 scouts. I'm just leading ahead, not even sneaking
would.
half the time.
She would.
Yeah.
That's probably what she would do. Because,
It's like-
this bunch of PCs and, heroes came to rescue you. You didn't actually need rescuing. They're
No.
just conveniently here now to give you muscle to help you get to the end goal.
Yeah, and you've been down there for ages anyway, haven't you? So you know the place pretty much.
Yeah. Now you're just an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Jolenna would probably be more interested in trying to get to the tower to unseat the power of the Illithids and then figure out what God is, because she really wants to know what that is.
Basically, if you can think of the party as Watsy Hasbro executives, and you're the community, you're
Right.
you're a roadblock in the way between us and our money. So the sooner you sort this shit out, we can go back and get our money.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right,
We're the top tier.
So
Well, I could get you out a lot faster than it took you to get here, most likely.
Oh, yeah.
the Mercy Hill Hospital. The hospital has a fairly storied history, and that history goes back as far back as the Roman times. I worry when Sorrentine starts turning his head. He's looking at the logo as if to say, "Is there something hidden in this logo?"
Now I'm just figuring whether it's actually meant to be roots or whether it is actually a tree with an upside down cross below it.
Yeah, it's probably roots, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it looks like roots to me. See,
It
I
is a
don't need to look
fairly-
upside down. I can visualize it like that. I can read upside down and backwards.
Yes, it's the cross growing into the ground.
You actually can hire you've got a car, haven't you? You hired a car?
We did.
Yeah.
The drive up, it's quite a foreboding, large, impressive building sitting atop part of what is known as Mercy Hill. Part of the hill has been dedicated to parkland, and the rest, beyond the trees, kind of out of the view of the town itself, sits this mental institution. You drive up to the gates. The gates are open and welcoming, not like the institute that you visited in the US, in Savannah. These seem to be, the gates seem to be very welcoming and opening. Of course, there's an inch or so of snow on the ground. So you're driving with a bit of care and a bit of attention. Doesn't seem to be anybody wandering around the grounds. You go up to kind of round to the back of one of the two buildings. There is an entranceway, an area to kind of park cars. There's only 2 or 3 cars in there, nothing extravagant like there would be today. And you head on in to the reception area. You are greeted behind a desk by a brunette. Late 20s, early 30s, no nonsense, stern face. She looks at you as you kind of come into the building. Gentlemen, may I help you?
We've been sent a letter inviting us to come visit.
Yes. Trisha told us that you would be arriving.
Hasn't exactly explained why we're invited. Do you know anything before we actually meet her? Seems to know a lot about us, considering we've only just arrived.
I think she just said that she'll be having visitors. 3 gentlemen, I think she said.
She knew our names.
Indeed, indeed. Please sign in.
I'll sign.
Please don't encourage her in her nonsense. We are trying our best to cure her of her illness.
So she's a patient.
Of course, yes. She's been
okay.
here for 11 years or so now.
All right, okay.
Occasionally we allow them visitors. As I say, as long as you don't buy into her nonsense and encourage it, then I can't see there being a problem with you visiting.
As I'm signing in, could I look back? I mean, how many pages are in this book? So I just want to maybe flick back a couple of pages and see if I can see any other name that might spring to mind. Solomon, yeah.
No, there is no sign of Solomon or any of the other EBA that you have previously encountered.
I'm assuming this place wouldn't get a huge amount of visitors.
Not a huge amount.
Yeah,
the last visitors, there's probably been a couple of visitors this year, this month. There was probably 2 or 3 visitors around Christmas period and run up to Christmas. What you would see, that's an interesting question.
Followed by, what's that alarm on the side of the building?
No. Again, I need to sort this all out in order. Right, hang on a second. I will tell you. There is one name that reoccurs at least once every at least once a month, often on a Tuesday, but a couple of additional times on the run up to Christmas. Bear with me a second.
I wonder why all the nurses are carrying truncheons.
It appears to be. God damn it.
I think we've had a 24-hour refresh.
Yeah. Or not, there isn't a name. It just says FTHR Matthews.
does it say who they're visiting, or
No,
just
there is
literally-
no indication of. Actually, what it does say, instead of where it says visitors, it has the word mass written in it.
Father Matthews.
That's the only name that is recurring. And you go back a couple more pages, and he's been coming for at least 2 years, regularly on a Tuesday, seemingly performing mass.
Can you give us an idea of the nature of the delusions so that we don't encourage them? Or even say anything that might spark them?
Voices. She tells us she hears voices, and they direct her to write a book.
Okay.
Some kind of revelations.
and you take the do you take the book off her, or does she still have it?
Well, it doesn't matter how hard we try, she always seems to have paper. And we encourage our patients to be expressive. It's more the voices that we don't agree with, and it's those that we're trying to cure her of. The fact that she writes a novel is entirely her business. As long as it isn't pornographic or of any other unsuitable material. Follow me.
Thank you.
She knocks on the bell. The nurse comes out to the front and takes her place. She takes you through a set of narrow halls, turning corners at strange angles. The plaster of the walls is much patched and frequently discoloured in inconsistent ways.
Any symbols we recognise in the?
Yeah,
I was about to ask that. Yeah.
as always.
Exactly that you would be looking. No, you don't see anything. Here and there, the halls are studded with old gates of heavy creaking iron, and occasionally she kind of pulls out a key and into one and unlocks it and opens it and closes it behind her. Here and there, echoes of shouts and screams and cries kind of bounce around the halls, often seemingly carried from great distances.
Is she a patient here voluntarily, or?
Possibly. No, not voluntarily. She was committed by the state.
Ah, okay.
She takes you from the old building out into the cold courtyard to the new building. Starkly different. It is wide hallways, pale green linoleum, rounded walls of mint green and cream with an antiseptic smell clinging in the air. Windows are white and barred. The now risen cold January sun is streaming in through some of the windows. But it takes on a curiously muted quality as it shines through the yellowish panes of glass. Eventually, after what feels like quite some time, she takes you to a room with Dr. Patterson on the door. She knocks on it. And he invites you in and asks you to take a seat. So, gentlemen, I understand you're here to see What should I say? Perhaps you've been summoned by Miss Piper, one of our more longer-term guests here. May I ask, what's your relationship with Miss Piper?
None whatsoever.
She just sent us letters with our names on it.
How she knew our names, beyond me.
Is interesting. A little bit worrying. I suggest you don't ask her that question. It may trigger her, and we are trying our very best to keep her calm and on the road to recovery. So, why are you here then? If you do not know the lady and you've never met her or spoken to her before, why come?
It's
By-
courtesy.
I'm probably professing I'm a private investigator. It's a puzzle that needs unraveling.
I'm just curious.
Well, very well. I suggest you do not encourage her in any of her delusions about voices. Try and keep your visits genial, cordial, friendship based, and everything will be fine. If we suspect you begin to encourage her, then, gentlemen, we will ask you to leave.
Has she been known to be violent?
Particularly. Though there have been a few instances where she seems to encourage the other fellow guests. You notice he doesn't refer to them as inmates. He doesn't refer to them as prisoners. He doesn't refer to them as patients, just guests. Where she has encouraged other guests to listen to the voices. And the last time she did that, it took us a few weeks to calm people down. And I'd rather not be in a similar situation again.
She got that much influence?
Oh, it's hard to say just how much influence she has.
And what are these voices that she keeps talking about then? Has she
No, we
said
don't
anything
know.
to you?
I don't really know, but it always happens. Can I call it mass hysteria? You know, you expect the odd guest to behave strangely every now and then. Sometimes, as we change medications, it affects their minds. Sometimes, isolation makes them a noise, a sound, even a word. But periodically, they all seem to synchronize. And
They don't
it
bite people, do
happens.
they?
Sorry?
They don't bite people, do they, by any chance?
Not particularly.
No.
What I'm aware of, though, there has been talk of vampires, believe it or not. I guess they bite people, if you believe the legends. Sometimes the patients, they have this ghost story, versions of a lake, something living in the lake, To one, it's a vampire. Another, it's a giant fish. Another, it's a strange glowing monster. Yet another, it's an old man. Sends out nightmares to lure people to it. We've even had a few patients try and answer that call. Sadly, we lost one in November when they climbed the back wall and threw themselves off the back of it. Didn't really go well. Especially the younger patients. And most notably in the younger children that we have occasionally here as guests.
Well, the young mind is like a sponge and very impressionable.
Indeed, indeed. Are you a doctor yourself, sir?
I have studied some psychoanalysis.
A doctor of the mind.
Only in layman studies.
Ah. Well. Anyway, we understand each other, and I think let's see how the visit goes, shall we? We will have I will have Mr. Weaver accompany you. He will be waiting outside Miss Piper's room at all times. The door is to remain open, so Mr. Weaver can observe and listen as you converse.
Who is Mr. Weaver? One of the nurses?
Mr. Weaver.
Yeah, Mr. Weaver.
He's one of the ward. He's a ward attendant. Let's see. What does he look like? Okay. Gentleman, probably late 30s, early 40s, mustache. Quite well cut hair, kept hair. Very impeccable, kind of white top, black trousers. Kind of comes in, hanging a big set of keys by his side. One side a truncheon, the other side.
That's right.
Gentlemen, please, I will take you to Miss Piper's room. She is, I believe, expecting you. He takes you down a couple more corridors, through a couple of iron gates, to a small area where there's maybe a dozen of these rooms. It's not. These rooms are bigger than the rooms that you saw in the old building. Not much bigger, maybe 1.5 times the size. So enough for a bed, a small desk, and that's about it. A closet, a wardrobe, a closet. That's American wardrobe. He goes to the door. He unlocks it, opens it. Miss Piper, your guests are here. Oh, exciting! Oh, excellent, excellent. Bring them in. Show them in. Show them in, please. Could we have chairs for my guests, please? Yes. And over the next 2 or 3 minutes, a couple of chairs, 3 chairs appear. You're lined in, and you are greeted by this young lady. Blonde, blue eyes, slight vacant look about her.
Doesn't resemble anyone we know or have encountered.
No. You do get a sense, the way she carries her hair is more reminiscent of the 20s than the 30s. But perhaps that's because she hasn't really been exposed to the outside in quite some time. Well, gentlemen, please sit. I'm glad you could come.
I'll lean over and offer my hand and say, "Hello, my name is Joseph Westmore."
I was waiting for that. It
How
took
you
longer than I
doing?
expected.
She offers her hand. Slight hint of rose about her. So, you came.
Well, you did invite us, and it would be rude not to.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. I'm hoping I could get some assistance from you. You see, I've been having a very hard time convincing Mr. Parsons over at Yellow Tree Books to... No, I can't put this any delicate. Really, this can't be put any delicate way at all. To destroy his copies of the Revelations of Glacky. I feel they're a nexus. They are drawing things to him, even though he doesn't realize it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in time, someday. I don't want his family to pay the price for what I write.
What is it that you are writing?
Volume 12. Volume 12 of the Revelations.
Of Glacky.
The book that was stolen from.
Well, no, that was 9.
No, that was not.
9
think
the
I've misread-
Truth 12.
A volume of books was stolen. One or more of the volume was stolen from the university, yes. Yes, well, I know it's the Revelation of Glacky, but to me it's just volume 12. Felt very right labeling it volume 12. I'm not sure why. I guess there must be another 11 volumes. And I know Mr. Parsons has some of those volumes, and like I said, I really need help in it being destroyed. I've even been writing him letters, but they seem to be going unanswered. Here, look. She kind of reaches over to a piece of paper on her desk, and she pulls it out and she hands it over to you.
Oh, which volumes would you want him to destroy? All of them?
All of them, yes. I beseech you on behalf of your son, there is a sin visited upon you by your father, which I fear will pass through your blood. There is but one path for you to follow. Burn the Revelations of Glacky you possessed before. No, I see. This letter is too late. It needs another. As you can see, I've not really sent this one. It was penned a bit too late. Too late for what? I don't know, but there's a from outside. And she kind of trails off.
I'll just take my notebook out because he can't. The guy at the door isn't watching us; he's just listening.
He's listening at the moment. Yes, he looks in every so often, but he's just listening. Yes.
You're muted.
I'll write upside down. Can I see your transcript? And just slide the book across. Do you have it?
Yes. She takes your book and she writes something in it. And she sort of says, yes, of course. I can show you my novel if you're interested. She kind of glances at the door. She pushes the book back. It says, There's something staring out there, something gnawing at the underside of things. It feels like when I lost my daddy in the Great War! Exclamation mark. She kind of lifts up her mattress, if you like, and she pulls out a wedge of papers. She hands them over to you.
Does the handwriting match the handwriting of a note, of her letters?
Okay, I can't share this with you too much just now. The first thing that you read as you kind of flick through some of the pages, it's a simple notebook labeled as the 12th volume of the Revelations of Glaaki upon the cover. It seems to be quite meandering with no clear focus. Here and there, it seems to be like some kind of, maybe reads a little bit like a futuristic toned poem extended to a very large length. There's probably 2-3 dozen pages in here. The one word though that you see repeatedly is Golanak. Y apostrophe Golanak. One of the sentences you read says, "For even the minions of Cthulhu dare not speak of Golanak. Yet a time will come when Igolanak strives both from the loneliness of aeons to walk once more among men, and the prelude to those days is even now upon us." And you notice that in that paragraph, parts of the word are in a different pen. Like she's written bits of it, stop, come back, carried on the thought, and filled in some blanks. In your notebook, she writes, "You may take it. If it's... No, it is of use. Take it."
Oh, thank you. I will read it. Said, if I, you know, the little protective symbols that we saw in the other institution.
Yeah.
Do I know that just putting them there as symbols would actually be the protection, or would there be some elaborate hocus pocus going on?
You don't know either. No, you have.
If I spend a point in a cult.
Yeah, spend a point in a cult. There is always a ritual that goes with it. The ritual would result in a stronger protection. The symbol itself may be enough to ward off weaker things. Just like holding up a crucifix may give a vampire pause for thought, but having Christian convictions and spouting that kind of stuff could actually make it run away.
Okay, well, I'll just say to the guys, you just carry on here. I'm just going to stretch my legs. And I'll walk to the corners of the room. What's say the door's behind us, and there was two corners, a corner either side behind the door.
Yeah.
Is there anything in those corners? Like bedroom furniture or anything like that?
One side, no, probably not. No, it's going to be an open wall.
Right, well, what I want to do is I want to take my penknife out, and at the bottom of the wall, in each corner, I just want to carve into the wall that protective symbol as best I can.
All right.
Just while these guys keep talking.
Yeah. She leans forward to Joseph and Ralph, and her eyes keep darting to the door. Whenever you sit in there, Cat, I need this piece of paper. Come on. I need this bit of paper. Sit there. Don't you dare bite me. See me flinch then?
Yep.
Yeah. He might bite me. He's got big teeth. He's like Cthulhu when he's angry. She whispered. There's another presence growing. I feel it's influencing what I'm writing. If it's first voice I hear is silver, then this one is hunger. I try very hard to keep it off the page, but I'm not sure if I've been successful or not. That's why I think if you take the book and you read it, you'll be able to discern for yourself. She seems to start drifting.
I'm going to lean forward and just touch your hand gently and say, is it worth us going to see Loughton while we're here? Lawton.
He was 200 years ago, wasn't
Oh, it was. Sorry, 1780s he was here.
he? He's still here. We're fucked.
Well, they did mention vampires, so
Just did, yeah.
Yeah.
you never know. And the other one that we know from here committed suicide, so
Although it could be a descendant. I think he could be a descendant of Loughton. That's the sins of the fathers.
Mm.
yeah, mention something about the son to the letter that she wrote to Joshua Parsons, didn't she?
Yes. His son to be.
Ah. His wife is with child.
Or will be.
We must pay this Josh Parsons a visit, I think.
You must.
We need to anyway.
Forgive me. I'm tired. Actually, no. It's his son now. It's his son now. I just double checked.
Have you ever met Mr. Parsons?
No.
Okay.
I've been in here writing my book for as long as he's been here running the bookstore.
Well, thank you for all your help, Miss Piper.
She kind of yawns and almost ignoring you now, she just kind of curls up on her bed, back to you, her facing the wall. Must sleep. Tired. And you kind of hear that gentle kind of change in somebody's breathing as they fall asleep. You finish your carving.
Try and conceal her book.
Okay.
Like this, in that case they try to search us.
Okay. Try and conceal the book. All right. Is there anything else you wish to do whilst you are here?
Oh, just to add, when I was actually carving the thing, because I will have sort of like under my breath, tried to do some form of
Ritual.
yeah, brief ritual. Obviously, it can't be a massively thingy, but any form of protective phrasing that I could have used.
Did you know the ritual self-denial? That one. Maybe try that.
I do know it, but that's something that's repeated over days. I could take elements of that.
It's a long
Yeah.
term.
But if I can sample elements of that, but that was more for
It was for stopping mouth.
stopping you doing.
That's right.
Wasn't it? When you'd already been infected. But I'm more for some form of protection.
I'll have a look around the room, see if she's scribbled any notes on surfaces, like on table or wall or anything.
Not that you can see. No, nothing. In that sense, unlike the previous place that you've been to, she seems to be a very
cleanly and looked after place, rather the other place was dumped them in a corner of chucking food.
Yeah, a bit of that. I mean, this is, she definitely looks to be looked after better than they did in Savannah, but more this is, well, no, the people in Savannah were not. It was not that they weren't looked after either, but the building was really old and shoddy. Here, this new building that she's in is definitely a much better building. No, it seems that she's almost like she's a willing patient, not somebody that rails against authority.
Yeah.
Just as everything goes quiet for a little bit, Alfred casts around the room very quickly to see if there's anything else he can find. Ralph steps away from the wall where he'd been carving, just as Mr. Ward, Mr. what's his name? Weaver pokes his head round. Finished, have we?
Looks that way.
Then she's fallen asleep.
Don't spend anything at this point.
I do not have the skills to discern anything from this man.
Conceal.
You're looking more at like assess honesty.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for. I was trying to find a skill for it. Yeah, I'm trying to see if he knows more than he's letting on as to what's going on.
Choose spend. The first thing that you get from him is he's quite a shifty bloke. You get a sense that he would be very open to payment in kind for services rendered that may not be the kind of thing the average visitor would be allowed. That includes, and this is the second thing you notice, his eyes linger on Trisha in all the wrong places for all the wrong amounts of time. This man, as far as Alfred is concerned, is incredibly dishonest, open to corruption, and not averse to partaking of sleeping patients, and offering said sleeping patients to people that might choose to pay him. You don't like him. at
No.
all.
Apparently at the moment I want to hurt him, but I can't really think of an excuse.
I love the phrasing that they put in here about him diddles the comatose patients.
That's a Kill Bill scene waiting to happen.
Yeah. Can you escort us out, please? You
Okay.
need to rest.
And he lets you out. He lingers.
I don't have an answer.
He lingers at the open door. The door staying open just a little bit longer than he should as he closes it slower than he should. Inserts his key, turns it, and then pokes his head around the grill to look inside.
When he
Is it
turns around to look at me,
no.
I'm giving him a very hard stare.
Okay.
A very disapproving one.
Yeah, that's
As
fine.
if, so he knows exactly what I'm seeing in him. And he steps
For
out
a
of light. And I,
brief second, his hand goes to his truncheon, and then he kind of remembers both who you are and where he is, and he stops. Follow
I'll
me.
have, I'll have a grin as he actually realizes. I'll just follow him.
We
I
want
hope
to find out where he lives.
If he
So-
tries anything, he's not going to wake up for a long time.
This has just gone over Ralph's head. He's not seen any of this, and over Joseph's head. What I would say is, Joseph and Ralph, you will get the sense that Alfred is not a happy man.
He's bristling. There is a mood.
Definitely bristling about something, and it seems to be directed at your escort.
Barely withheld violence.
Is Weaver the sort of person you'd like to leave on an island overnight?
6 foot under, yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you once more as you arrive back towards the front of the building, is there anything else you think you might need to do here?
There's a reason we were going to come here, wasn't there? Was it to
Well,
do
it's
with the
still-
students with Daryl? It's to do with Daryl Owens. Because he was committed here, wasn't he?
Isn't there any records of transcripts of what people said when they were here?
You don't know that. There will definitely be medical records, discharge papers, charge papers, why case files, why people were held.
And it's not because it's built on top of a. Come on, Brian. Knights Templar.
No, that's the church.
Oh, it's a church, sorry, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
Temple
that's on
Hill.
the high street.
There was something about Daryl that we were going to look into, wasn't it?
Do you want to try and access any medical records? I'll ask you bluntly.
I think we should.
We should, but how do we? Because I don't think we can just ask to see them, can we?
Well, our learned friend here is a doctor of sorts.
Remember,
Of the mind.
the guy that you really dislike.
Not really.
Yeah,
If-
he
I thought we
would.
could pay him. Mr. Weaver.
Yes.
Another thing that, I mean, slightly off the record, of course. Could we get any files pertaining to a Mr. Darrell Owens? We could certainly make it your while.
Living or dead?
Sorry?
Is he living or dead?
Oh, he passed away, sadly.
Oh, absolutely. That's not a problem. Would you like to take you to the records room?
Wonderful, Mr. Weaver.
Excellent. Follow me.
Thank you.
He pauses, he about turns, goes to a set of stairs, unlocks a gate, gestures you through the gate, takes you down a set of stairs, under a couple more kind of underground passageways to a big door that just says Records Archive on it. Unlocks the door, opens it. Help yourself, gentlemen. I'll wait out here.
Oh, thank you. When we go in, I also want to mention to Ralph, maybe there might be something here for Thomas Lee. If he was brought in, I mean, it's a long time ago, but you know, if he's in here, you'll know where to find him. Well, the
Potentially.
record's not the person.
Well, potentially, I can look.
How's it sort of catalogued? Is it alphabeticalized or date-wise?
Date-wise. Date and then alphabetically. Year, alphabet.
1 or 2 points of the library use, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'll go with 2.
Okay.
I'll stay near the door in case he tries anything. But I still wouldn't trust him, even if he is being paid.
Okay.
Back in a sec, I can still hear you.
You find patient records for Owens, for Loughton, and just flicking through some of them, you find an interesting one for a Joseph Norton. Best you can tell, the records go back to 1700s. There are tens of thousands of them in here. This is kind of wall to ceiling, crammed with medical records. There are piles of them on the floor in places. More recent. Every single one in this room appears to have been have deceased. So here's what you find. So you should have got 2 PDFs and a sort of an image. Darrell Owen. Presented with classical signs of hysteria, case resistant to morphine, recommended treatment with opiates. Avoid mention of faces. prompts hysteric outbursts regarding pale remnants, etc. Arrived 9:30, found an Albi on Severnford at 6 a.m. according to police report. Patient had been left on island as joke by fellow students from Brichester University. 13:30, patient began screaming at 3 a.m. When orderlies opened the door to his room, patient fled and managed to escape. Hit by automobile in drive. Disfiguring wounds around perimeter of face and across scalp cannot be fully explained by contact with automobile. Bloodstains found on floor near patient's window, which the patient had apparently broken open. Police suspect that facial wounds may have been self-inflicted using broken glass. Nurse Schultz notes that none of the broken glass has blood on it. Langton. Oops. What do you know about him? Believes that the city of Brichester is, in his words, a lie. Has constructed a vivid hallucination regarding a meteor or possibly comet, which supposedly fell on the outskirts of town, carrying the lie with it. Of the delusion is questioned. If the delusion is questioned, Loughton becomes sullen and hostile, referring to those interacting with him as either masks of the lie, false puppets, or the like. Any direct contradiction of his delusion state results in a strong psychological negation of the source of contradiction. So, conditions on admission grab your attention. Disinterested, and I don't know that word, but is not excited at present, nor does he express any so far, and can be controlled. He has a healing suppuration on his left arm, and his right arm.
Irritable.
Sorry?
Irreliable.
Looks like it. Irritable.
Could be.
No, there's an I after the E.
Oh, okay.
I think it's irreliable.
His right arm seems oddly bent at the wrist. Oh, yeah, irritable. Yes, disinterested and irritable. But he's not excited at present, nor does he express any so far. Bruises on the back, scratches on face, possibly self-inflicted. And the reason why Norton caught your attention, because it's only a couple of years after Langton, and Norton mentions pale guardians that will come for him in the night. Deep, tearing wounds around eyes, under chin, and behind ears. Scrapes to the knees, slight arrhythmia of the heart, possibly due to patient panicked state. He has come from Central Market in Severnford, badly mutilated around the face and in a state of non-communication. Refused to speak to police regarding the identity of his attackers, possibly due to fearing some form of reprisal. He claims that the Pale Guardians will come for him in the night. After a period in which he did not become calm, he was remanded to the asylum. And if you notice, he died of suicide November 8th, 1805, climbed the wall of the rear yard and threw himself down the cliff. That's the other thing that you noted.
We've had somebody.
Is that the one that the nurse mentioned? The nurse mentioned somebody recently had jumped over the wall.
You remember, she said somebody recently, November last year. This was 1803.
Which is 130 years ago.
That's a repeat.
Yeah. Makes you wonder how many people have jumped over the wall.
What's
Will
the
take
other
you
side
a
of the wall?
long time. A drop down a cliff. The back end of the hill.
Is this anywhere in the right direction for the island or anything? Or
It's in the right direction for the lake.
See, when I saw the November 8th, 1805, 1803, so I had to go back and check on Loughton's date.
Loughton's death.
Yeah, that was 1805, August 11. I thought that was the same date when I first looked.
Natural causes 1806. According to the patient's written instructions, belongings were burnt with exception of his diary, which is to be remanded to the custody of the Royal Society of London. By the time you've finished in here, it's probably early afternoon. You're getting hungry.
Yeah, definitely go back to the pub for lunch or dinner.
Okay.
And I do think if you've got time to go to the bookshop.
You probably have time to go to the bookshop. Get there towards the end of the afternoon.
Yeah.
might be worth it. Those did sound fairly urgent. Warnings.
Yeah, and it is Friday as well, so probably better to go try and get there as early as maybe for go lunch and go straight there.
Yeah.
Okay,
in case he shuts early on Fridays.
Good point.
Okay. You're going to go straight from here to the bookshop.
Yes, carefully navigating the roads and the snow and staying on the right side. The left side.
Yeah. Yellowstone Bookshop is on my list. Why is it not on my list? Give me a sec. Okay. All right. The bookshop is sunken below ground level. It is. The entrance is located in Victoria's Sprawl, near where the decay of Lower Brichester is beginning to gnaw away. The door is sunken below street level, a short flight of stairs with gleaming white rails leading down to it. The building is of red brick with an attractively painted sign reading the Yellow Tree Antique Bookstore, established 1825. Heading down the stairs, you open the door into a large room that has an accretion of random shelves haphazardly breaking up the layout of the pleasantly musty shop floor. Long units with wooden drawers contain a variety of magazines, comics, and other antique books and scrolls. The bookstore almost feels like home to Ralph. Yours is a lot neater, I would say, and possibly a little bit more airy and a little bit bigger. But it's a place that you are immediately drawn to and immediately want to spend as much time as you can perusing the bookshelves, because straight away you can see there is all kinds of books.
Yeah, this has been here 200 years. This is like the bookstore I want to build up to.
Yeah, it's been here about 115 years.
I say two, so
10 years. Yeah. Electric lights jut out from the walls. You can, probably old gaslight fixtures once upon a time, casting a haze of yellow light around the place. A long shopkeeper's counter runs down the right side of the shop, behind which a door with frosted glass leads to something that is most likely the back office. In the window, actually, sorry, no, not in the window. As you wander in, the back door opens and a plump-faced man with reddish cheeks, a thinning patch of brown hair swirled on his head, a low-hanging pot belly. He kind of... Do we have a picture of him? We do not have a picture of him. Holy God. Parsons, right? Good afternoon, gentlemen. How may I be of help? Are you looking for something in particular or just browsing?
question out of character. Question is, guys, we didn't discuss how we're going to do this. We've got a couple of reasons to be here.
I know. Some nutter at the big house on the hill said, "Burn the books."
Yeah, I think we approach that subject second.
Yeah, let's get our business out of the way first.
Yeah, get the other thing, and then say that. Oh, by the way, any copies of Revelations of Glacky? We want them.
Yeah, well, that's what. Yeah, yeah. If we can buy them rather than destroy them, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, there was the two books we were looking at were, just to clarify this, it was the 1912 first edition of British Sports and Hunting and the 1894 fourth and fifth volumes by John Burroughs, was it?
Yes.
I think those were the two books.
I didn't make a note of the books because I knew you would have been the book guy.
Yes, I'm in the. Sorry, here's my card. I'm in the.
You like books, sir?
I certainly do. I've got a similar kind of business in New York.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Let me introduce my name is Ralph House, antiquarian.
Mr. Haas, Mr. Parsons, nice to meet you.
I've got to say, you've got a lovely establishment here.
Oh, thank you very much. I have to say, I love books. And the more yellow the paper on those books, the more I like them.
Indeed.
Do you have anything to sell, or are you looking for something to take home?
I've got. I'd heard that you may have these, and there's two things that I'd really wanted to take from my personal collection. To be honest with you, is this a family business? Has it been passed down, or is it just something you've acquired?
Oh, no. My father. No, actually, not my father. My grandfather opened the shop back in 1825. He left it to my father to me, and I hope to leave it to Anthony when he's older.
Anthony, your son.
Indeed.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. I'd like to. Mine's a fresh business that I've started up, and I'd like to leave mine through the family as well. So, yeah, mine's at the beginning of the journey up. This place is already on.
Well, I wish you all the fortune and good reading, Mr. Haas.
Thank you. So, the two. Well, it's really three, but it's two authors. There was I believe you may have the British Sports and Hunting first edition from 1912.
Yes.
And there was
I think so,
th-
yes.
there was also another piece that I was trying to acquire, which was from 1894. So it was there was 2 volumes, volumes 4 and 5. Just off the back of my head, I assume I know whether that was at the end, in the middle of a series, these books. So if it's in the middle, I'll say I've got 1 through 3 and 6. Or if it's at the end, I'll say I've got 1, 2, 3, or whatever. I'll make it fit.
Okay.
I have X volumes, but 4 and 5 are missing. I'm trying to acquire those.
Okay. Do you have the name of the book?
Yes, I haven't got a name, but I've got John Burroughs, and it was, what was it called? Hang on.
Yeah, then make a note of the books. Just his name and dodgy book stuff.
Bear with me. Search my other doc. No, it's not in the Word doc either.
Got the name John Burroughs?
Yeah, I've got the name.
I thought you were going to ask for Revelations of Glacky, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it was that though specifically, or whether it was something else. I think it may have been.
Yeah, I don't know where Burroughs comes from.
Is he the author of those at that time? Because it gets passed on, doesn't it?
So, no, what you know, 1865, a pirated edition of the Revelations published by Matterhorn Press in 9 volumes. Published for subscribers supposedly numbering fewer than 200. Edited, organised, corrected by Percy Smallbeam. I've got no reference to suggest it was Burroughs.
Strange. I don't know why that's there then.
The name rings a bell to me, though.
We went along, and I didn't mean to do that. Let me have a look. Very quick.
It's inconsequential, I suppose, because it will, with it being volumes, it will be the Galaki stuff,
Yeah.
Revelations.
Okay, so you're going to ask him.
Yeah, for 4 or 5 of the Revelations of Galaki. I'm trying to think, have I got a book that's useless? I can throw back.
Whether
On
you'll
the
have
book
it
list.
on that person.
No, what I don't want a person, but I can note it and go back for it. Or say that ask it just to keep him interested, but
You've got stacks of books that you've been collecting since you set off.
yeah.
On this journey.
Trying to
All of
find
them have been
something
useful.
that's particularly interesting but isn't useful.
No, all of them have been useful so far.
Yeah. Yeah, all of them have drove me insane. In one way or the other.
Got 2 more yet to read. Maybe
Yeah.
a 3rd or 4th one in a minute.
Sadly.
He goes to his sporting section and he pulls out that sporting book that you asked for. Can you remember how much I said it would roughly cost?
£1. It's free to a good home.
No.
Was it 40? Was it 40?
I thought it was a lot more than that, to be fair.
Well, we can call it 40. And the mad thing is, I don't have it written.
I know they had the budget, and it was outside their budget or something.
Yeah, I don't have it. Bizarrely, I don't have it written on these notes, so I don't know where I was writing some of these comments. Let's check it's not on that piece of paper. No. No, don't have it written down, which is bloody frustrating. I wonder why. Oh, wait a minute. I always have got a notebook over here. No, I don't. D&D stuff. No, I don't. Okay. He brings the book out and he kind of dusts it off, and he doesn't dust it off because it's clean. He places it down on the counter, on a cloth on the counter, opens it with his white gloves, and kind of shows you the front page, first edition, etc., etc.
I'll get my own gloves out and have a look through it.
As you can see, Mr. Haas, this is first edition as advertised. Though it is a pricey tome at £40.
My good man.
Yes. Show me the money. I'll wait till we finalise on everything. We might get a deal for buying 3.
I'm sure that's acceptable.
Now, I'm not sure where you. Well, I can certainly help you with Volume 4 of the Revelations of Glacky. Once upon a time, my father owned all 9 from the Matterhorn Press. A very limited subscription base that was issued in 1865. I believe it was the only book published by Matterhorn Press. Reputedly, the publishers were mixed up with the infamous Ghost Club of Cambridge. And he goes to the back, and there is a glass case, and he fishes out of his pocket a set of keys, unlocks, lifts the lid, gloves again, pulls out a single volume and he brings it over. And unfortunately, this is the only volume I have now in my possession.
Oh, what happened to the other volumes?
Well, I wouldn't call the other one a volume. I haven't had volume 5 for yeah, he's put volume 4 on the desk. I haven't had volume 5 for many a year. 5-6 years ago, I think it was sold to an erstwhile collector. Mr. Professor Hurd, who I understand is no longer at the university. And it was subsequent to that I got my hands on this copy. Yes, this is volume 4, specifically known as Of the Secrets Behind the Stars. Now, the other book that I had was more of a handwritten notebook, holographic in nature. I had a suspicion that this was written in the original author's own handwriting. Much of its text overlaps with that things, excuse me, that I can remember from the Revelations. I suspect that it might have been a draft copy for volume 10 of all things. It was stolen just after the Christmas period. The police, sadly, have been unable to locate it. I suspect it's long gone now to some private collector in the Middle East or something.
Sorry, just refresh my memory. When did Headley steal, allegedly, for the book from the university?
5 years ago.
That's 5 years ago, is it right?
Yeah. Same time that Professor Hurd bought the book here,
Correct.
strangely enough. But this one that's been stolen, could that be the one that you've just been given?
Possibly.
It's recent enough.
So yes, he said, my father forbade me to read any of the books that he had. Used to keep it locked up. It disappeared shortly before his death in 1918. Not long after my older brother Howard was killed in the Great War. Sad times that. But never mind. As much as I would love to get my hands on all 9 copies, I do have a business to run, and if this is something you're interested in, Mr. Haas, I'm sure we could come to some kind of agreement.
Well, for sure, I'm working on. I'm working on that collection myself. So I'm more than open to, once I obtain them, if we stay in contact, then we can arrange either myself coming to England with them or you coming over to New York, visiting my store and perusing them.
Do you have reassurance?
No, I don't have reassurance. I just have my natural integrity and my professional card, which he now has.
I've got plenty of reassurance, but I wouldn't know how to actually apply it.
I mean, I could quite happily step in and So my earnest colleague here has been trying to find these books and collect them for a while now to fulfill his library, and I do pay for them for him, just because it's a fruition of something that I would like to see happen.
It's to help with the book I'm writing as well. It's one of the reasons we went to Ethiopia.
That's right.
You've been to Ethiopia?
Yes, following this path, researching the area.
Well, I can't let it go cheap.
I wouldn't expect it to go cheap.
If it did, it's a chicken.
Just going to double check. Let's have a look. I love the internet sometimes.
You get to Waterstones are priced at the books of Revelations of Glaaki. Comparable to Tolkien at his best.
He's preferred Booker's. He's a great one of those near us.
Went in Waterstones at weekend, see if they still had any role-playing games, just in case they had Pathfinder. Purely board games, and shit ones at that.
Yeah.
Although they did have Ticket to Ride, so that was alright, I suppose. And Scythe. I was surprised.
Yeah.
These have some in Wrexham. What's those used to have role-playing games?
Yeah, the one in Manchester used to have, but it looks like they just stopped doing them. Unless they've moved them away from the indoor games section and board game section for some reason.
It's still Travelling Man in Leeds, because it could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, stop selling them now when it's getting more and more popular.
Mm-hmm.
Could sell it to you for £75. 2 books, £115.
Well, I'm not gonna haggle over a piece of work like this, so yeah, that's acceptable. It's not my money.
You do still have your
We've still got our funds, so it's
Yeah,
not.
I
It's
know.
technically,
Yeah, we've got loads of money still.
yeah, a load of money.
Loads
Yeah.
of money.
what the value would be today. So for the 2 books, that would be $10.5 grand.
I'd pay that for a copy of Pathfinder.
Second edition, you mean?
Second edition.
Because I was going to say, I've got first edition if you want it at that price.
Absolutely, gentlemen. Would you like me to wrap them up?
If you've got something to protect it from the harsh weather.
Of course. What discerning bookseller wouldn't have? And he goes and gets some wax paper.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
And he packages them up, ties them nicely, both 2 separate bundles, and then he puts them another piece of wax paper over top of the 2 books, binds it all, and hands it over. You hand over your £115.
Indeed.
Are we still spending the money that we got from that PI that tried to attack us?
I think you got £500 from him, didn't you?
Ah, yes.
That's what I'm saying. This is just,
Yeah.
we've just got ready cash knocking about.
It's worth like 45 grand. Okay.
We're just going to go home now.
So-
screw the universe.
You have the book that I believe the library wanted, the
Yep.
University Library.
Yep.
You have volume 4 of the Matterhorn Press edition of the Revelations of Glaaki. And you know that you also have a supposed volume 12, if Trisha can be believed.
Yep.
You have the strange book that you were handed by the strange disappearing man. And you also know that there was another notebook, possibly volume 10, in manuscript, pre-published form, that was here. And as the evening set on the 25th of January 1935. You find yourselves back in the hotel for dinner. We'll go ahead and call it a night.
So plenty of books drive him insane.
Yes, what's your level?
Absolutely. You guys have got it easy. You just drink, you just talk to people. I have to read all this shit and lose my
tentacles.
mind.
Do you know what I loved about tonight was the fact, well, all very good, but the green hospital walls was like a throwback to my childhood. You know, back in the 70s when you get these objects, yeah, God. Thank God they found Magnolia.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that colour.
No, it was like peppermint, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like green, but not that one.
Almost the same colour as the custard that you have at schools. In the 70s and 80s, the green custard.
I don't remember that.
Oh, it's probably a northern thing.
Yeah, green custard on chocolate sponge cake.
Chocolate sponge cake, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was that mint flavoured, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't get green.
I drank
pure white.
I drank a whole. We used to get ours served in these metal jug things.
Jugs. Yeah,
And
I remember
drank,
those.
As a bet, I drank a whole one of those. And then probably half an hour later threw up.
Well, that custard out of those though, it was Jesus. It's set.
Once you broke
You
through
pour
the
it out,
crust,
it's like whoosh. It had its own gravity. It was that dense.
it's true. No, fantastic night. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very kindly.
You're welcome.
Come chilly. Bloody hell.
How's it?
Yeah. And my Amazon order hasn't arrived, which I'm very upset about.
They're a bit short of drivers apparently at the moment.
Okay, walk with it.
Yeah, what could you bring it? I pay Prime.
Yeah.
Maybe there's snow in the way.
Yeah, we're very sorry. It was meant to be delivered this morning. Then it was this afternoon. Then it said it will be delivered by 10 o'clock. And all of a sudden, now it's expected tomorrow. Are you sure?
I've had 2 or 3 of those lately where they've been due a day and it's the next day that they've come.
It's trying to get...
Hang on, we're paying for Prime. We're supposed to get next day delivery. Why isn't it next day delivery anymore?
Yeah.
You wait till they close down the depots are closing.
Yeah, Prime isn't what it used to be. That's all I can say.
It's not, is it?
The TV's not bad. Some of the shows on it. I can't complain too much. And,
well,
I don't even know how much Prime is now.
$79.
Yeah. Can't remember.
I also get the Kindle Unlimited on it.
Yeah, it's good for Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah. I've saved a fortune on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah, have I got that? I'm sure. I've got the music and I've got the.
I've got the music. I've just got the books.
I've got the. I've got Audible. I've got Audible.
Brilliant is Audible. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm converting my library into Audible books at the moment.
Never use an audiobook.
I say library, it's 4 books.
I'm just dropping the server. Don't worry if it disappears.
Oh, no problems.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah,